to Faith on Film, a program designed to keep you aware and informed on everything that's happening in the world of faith and family entertainment. I like to share with you when I have a first on the show, and today is definitely a first because I have a father and daughter team on the show, and that's very exciting. Let me just introduce them here. Brian has 30 years of experience in the stunt, choreography, effects, theatrical, and commercial production. Brian has made filmmaking his life as director, producer, stunt coordinator, and production designer. Over the years, Brian has worked with John Landis, Ridley Scott, Steven Spielberg, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Eddie Murphy, and many, many, many more. Family, faith, and action are some of the things that drive Brian to create movies. Now, his daughter, Kiara Finn, is known for her work in Resilience and the Lost Gems, the Freemason 2, and Underdog Kids, and of course, she's here with her dad today. Brian, Kiara, man, I hope I said that right. Kiara, yes, I did say that right. I have a tendency of messing up names. Welcome to Faith on Film.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You can call her Kiwi. That's been my name for her since she was tiny. And the only time I say Kiara, she knows something is a little wrong.
I'm in trouble.
Kiwi, is it? Like the fruit?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
See, now I can remember that, Kiwi. Well, Brian, as is customary on Faith on Film, we'd like to find out how in the world you even got into filmmaking. Now, I do know something about you. And that was that your parents were, that you're a preacher's kid, that your parents were pastors, although it wasn't that way in the very beginning. So I don't know if you want to share a little bit of that, but you can include that in your story.
Absolutely. So, yes, I grew up pretty much my whole life, pretty much a preacher's kid. And that was a change that happened at a young age. My dad was doing some pretty amazing job as a cocaine salesman. And
okay.
if that's what you want to call.
Not while he was a pastor, right?
No. That's I'm going to get to that part. I just wanted to see who's listening out there because I have to catch some ears. He was if you saw the movie Blow, he was actually one of the guys running drugs from Mexico up to the U.S. And I was a young boy at the time, and he had like 5 hollowed out surfboards full of cocaine, and he got busted, and him and my mom got put in prison at that time.
Oh my!
And I was very young. I was about 3 or 4 years old. And while they were in prison, though, both separate from each other became born again Christians and just wanted to tell each other what happened, why they were in. They both came out and said they had things to say, and it was pretty amazing. And that led them to move from Southern California to Northern Idaho. And we were the first ministry they had. They were pastors on a Kootenai Indian reservation, and we lived there. And he was a pastor, and that was the first start of it. And then my whole life as a child was following them with church starting and a lot of different organizations. Not so much organizations, mostly non-denominational. But his specialty was church starting and getting it up and going, and then appointing a pastor, and he would go on. That's kind of our method. And I was all over the country traveling as an evangelist as a kid. My mom was an amazing playwright and puppet show, and we would do these. We basically ran kids shows while my dad was running. We did these tent evangelistic, full on tents and traveling in a motorhome and homeschool a lot of the life. And that was kind of my life as a kid. And I remember my mom telling me, she's like, someday you're going to minister to so many people. And no, Mom, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna do something else, and that's pretty. I fought that actually tremendously, and basically, the actual event that got me into the film industry is a pretty unique story. I was going to school pre-law to be a lawyer, and at the same time, I was also working at a health club in Marina Del Rey. You probably know that area well. And one of the guys I was training, he's like, "Oh man, you look just like the commercial boards of this kid that's dancing in the Oh Boys It's Potato Chip commercial." And can you dance? I'm like, "Oh man, I can dance so good, brother. I can dance." And he said, "Come out for the audition." And so I get on the set, and I see an effects guy, an effects guy doing smoke. I see these cameras. I just see this amazing element happening. I'm very young at the time, about 19 years old, and I just loved it so much. And I look at everything that's happening, and I came back after being an actor. I came back the next day and just said, "Hey, I just want to work for free." And I just got into it that way. The whole time,
Okay.
going to school, interning at my uncle's law firm, and my uncle came to me and says, Brian, you know what? I don't know if you really have a heart to be a lawyer, and I don't know if I was terrible as an intern or if he just saw how much I was into, and I just kind of branched with film, and that became, probably from the time I was 21 years old, the only job I've had since I was 21 years old, so 30 years.
Wow.
Pretty crazy. Yeah, exactly.
So your mom was right all along. You were going to end up ministering to people because you now are doing that through your filmmaking. So
Exactly.
she knew it, I guess, before you even did. Now, we of course want to hear from Kiwi, because if we don't let her get in here, you're just going to keep talking and talking and talking, aren't you? So Kiwi, how did you end up? And you know what? I don't even know if we should just take a break and give you the whole next time. No, go ahead. Tell us a little bit. You got a couple of minutes to tell us how you got started. Did he force you into
All
this?
right. So my dad just wanted to give me the opportunity to see what I would think of it. So he let me do commercials and stuff. And so I kind of just started enjoying it. And I would tell him, I'm like, when can we do it again? When can we do it again? So he did. He let me be in this movie. And I was just like amazed at this. I just fell in love. And so, yeah, that's how I got into acting, is my dad just let me experience it and fell in love.
Of course, and I love that. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do then. We're going to take a quick break right now, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the movie that you're in, Kiwi, and we'll let you kind of take this whole next segment. How's that?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back. We're here on the show with Brian and his daughter. I'm going to call her Kiki since they told me to call her. No, I'm sorry, Kiwi. See, I messed it up even with that. So now, Kiwi, let's give you an opportunity. I know that your dad, was he wasn't doing faith-based films. He was working on a lot of the Hollywood films, but then something kind of transformed him into that, and I think you kind of had a little bit of part in that, didn't you?
Yeah. So what happened is I was trying for this part. We filmed a little short film based on a baseball story, but the director, they paid another guy to do it, and he said that he didn't want me. Like, he said that he wanted to go a whole different direction, and he didn't want me to be a part of it. So my dad saw that I was kind of upset about that, and I was kind of brushing it off. I was like, it's okay. He went down and wrote this movie. It took him 14 hours. He just wrote this whole script by himself. And he just came up to me. He's like, Kiwi, you gotta hear this. He just tells me about this. And I'm like, you stayed up all night just doing this. Like, are you crazy? And so that's how it all started. And
I was really crushed because she's such an amazing little girl. When she did a scene with Bo Bridges, and Bo Bridges changed his line a little bit, and Kiara looked at him. She's only 6 at the time. And she's like, tells him in front of a crew of 200, if you change your lines, you should really tell my character, because my character would react differently. And this is at a 6-year-old little girl. And Bo got down and he said, you're absolutely right. And he told me I was the best child actress he had ever worked with. And I've been kind of protecting her and maybe holding her back a little bit. And then when we did this short thing, it was really started to roll. And when it didn't happen the way we thought it was going to happen, I just was led and just started. I'm not really a writer by sense. I can write short periods, but I just got this story and it just started coming to my mind. And I wrote all of her talents in, because she's such a good actress. She's a great stunt person. She can fight. She can ride motorcycles. And I just put all this into the story. And then we went and read through it almost like a book. And my family, my wife, and my other child, we all read it in our bed. And I read it to them. They were just glued to it. I was like, man, this is going to come together. This is going to come together. And that was the starting of Resilience.
I really love that you're working together with your daughter. I've been in television for many years, and as I was growing up, my kids were always with me. My daughter, especially my firstborn, my oldest daughter, she was a big help to me in a lot of the productions that I was involved in. And even right now, my grandson is the one that's directing this show we're doing right now. He's back there, pushing the buttons and all that. So I love the whole idea of families working together, to produce content, especially content for families and, for the whole faith-based world.
Yes.
How do you like working with your dad?
It's so fun because he just is funny, and he just always goofs around with me and gets me hyped up when I'm tired. Like, he just helps me be happy and just get hyped up for movies or whatever. Like, he's what puts me in a good mood.
For Resilience, we shot 45 days, 32 locations, and Kiara was on set for 38 of those days, working all kinds of crazy hours, doing all her own stunts. But it was also, you know, if I was working with another actress or as a stunt coordinator, I would never do that with our actress. But I know my daughter, I know her ability, and I was able to get shots of her on the side of a cliff. You know, we're 1,400 foot off the side of the cliff, and it's my actress actually on the side of the cliff doing the lines. And it's just so amazing watching her perform and just letting her do her thing, you know. And she made me look good. She's not coattailing off me at all.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick look at the trailer of the movie, so people can see what it is you're talking about and how wonderful Kiwi is. All right, roll the trailer.
From the first time I heard it, I was obsessed. Is it possible that somewhere in these desolate hills lie treasure? Lost gems that have been hidden for centuries. I couldn't be sure, but I was determined to find out. And I had no idea what my search for the lost gems would actually take. No! An old legend tells of precious red beryl gems that were discovered while digging the tunnels for the railroad. When I get fascinated with something, watch out. Maybe that's why my parents named me Resilience.
Well, what do we got here?
It's Utah's most amazing legend and captivating mystery.
Who are you?
Resilience O'Neill. I go by Rizzy.
Wow, you know what, Kiwi, you truly are amazing. You really are. How did you guys come up with the concept for that movie, which, by the way, has some beautiful scenery also?
Yeah, we shot 32 locations all over the state of Utah, and really just, in fact, Utah Film Commission helped promote us. The Golden Spike, it was the 150th anniversary of when the two trains came and the Golden Spike came. That's how our movie opens back 150 years ago. And they supported us. They all got together. I mean, we had two actual trains, you know, that are rebuilt from that time period. Everybody in period costumes, and all came out on their day off to help us because they just loved the idea of what's going on. We had very little. We basically self-financed. I had a tiny bit. In fact, you saw in the opening, it's the people from China. Mm-hmm. That is a Christian pastor from Taiwan, and he came out with his family, nice. And he came out with another group, and they are actually in the opening of the film playing the Chinese railroad workers. They helped finance it a little bit as well, and that's how we did it. That's the big mission, is about churches starting to help finance this stuff and think of films as a ministry, not as a business, because that's, you know, we're not looking to make money, but we want to let churches know this is a ministry, like building houses for other people, Amen. Setting up film is a ministry, and you start looking at that and you will grow. Your church will grow because of that.
Amen. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to take one more break, and when we come back, let's talk about something else that I believe you've got in the works, and hopefully you can talk about it, because I know the father-daughter partnership is not over here, so there's more to come, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Faith on Film. We are here today talking with a father-daughter team that I just absolutely adore now. Brian, now I know that the partnership with your daughter is certainly not over. There must be something else you've got up your sleeve.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So we took kind of the concept of resilience, which is the character in the film that's almost like a Laura Croft, Indiana Jones. She's super smart and athletic and has this ability to solve puzzles. And we took that into a show that it's very unique. I don't think there's anything out there like that, because every episode will open back with a historical event. For instance, one of the episodes, you'll see these two ships from the 1500s going through this crazy storm. And as the waves and the storm takes it out and it sinks underwater, you'll see it go underwater and through the bubbles and everything. And through the bubbles will come Kiara now. And she's on scuba and she comes up out of the water and she's like, hey guys, we're right here where this supposedly went down, 500 years ago. The gold hasn't been found, but we want you to think about. And she does. It's a historical travel show. Everything will open up with this amazing reenactment, just really film quality stuff. And now we're in the modern day, and it'll be Rizzy here talking about how you get here. We'll geocache. We'll do, you meet with everything from restaurants to hotels to also you can follow her path. And it's all real legends that have never been solved, and create this whole energy about doing that. And she's the perfect person to pull that off. And we can do it with a really small crew and just enjoy all these legends. So that's kind of what it's about. It's called Rizzy's Historical Adventures. And that's where we're at. We're actually looking for a possibility on that right now.
Wow. So now if people want to learn more about that and what you're doing with that, where would they go? How would they follow you?
AOEmedia.tv is good. You can go just search AOE Media on Facebook. Okay. That works as well. Those are basically the two big ones. And then just leave a message there. I'm super active with that. It's a very, we will get back to you right away. We just really love to interact. We're just growing into this thing. And my whole message, just is so important, is how strong it's family first, how strong of a relationship you have with your wife, with your kids, and in fact, my whole family is in the film Resilience, and we all work together, and that's part of the whole blessing. Is I spent most of my life traveling, working all over the world, missing so much time with my family. Yeah. So I want to figure out a way, how can I promote a really cool action and VFX and show your relationship with God, your relationship with family can all be super powerful and fun and not boring and not nerdy, just this really amazing synergy. And that's what I want to show, and that's what it's about.
Wow. And if somebody wants to send you a huge check, what address should they send it to? No. But you are interested in somebody who might be interested in helping you with the funding of this, aren't you?
Absolutely. We're just working through a sizzle and a pilot that we're kind of doing ourselves. And the whole pandemic and everything's kind of slowed that down a little bit. So there's some opportunity right there to get a good partnership. And it just has to be somebody that really believes, and it's so important. It has to be all about family and relationships. I don't want to be preachy. I don't want to be doctrine based. I just want to really show that strong relationship with action. There's the fact of me being a stunt guy and a stunt coordinator my whole life. I can bring a whole element you don't see in faith-based films that much. Right. I think they're really lacking. I don't want to disparage anything because there's a lane for those faith-based films, but I think I can bring an angle that's just super action-based, but powerful in family and strength. That's what I'd like to work on.
I agree. And of course, you said it right there in the bio that I read: family, faith, and action.
Exactly.
That's missing from a lot of the movies, and probably because it can be very costly to do that. Because you're the one that does it, you will do it for much less, won't you?
It's so much less. And I have that's one quick thing. So Resilience has won awards all over the place, but this is the platform. So she was in obviously ICFF, which is kind of the faith-based Oscars. Youngest ever nominated for Best Actress. So you take that one. That's faith-based. Now you go to Artemis Women of Action, which is a stunt-based film. She was up for youngest up-and-coming action star. There you go. And then the Chelsea Film Festival, which is largely very left, very liberal. And here she is as a woman of power getting nominated. And those are all three in the same year. We can bring this whole thing together with action. You can bring faith and family into these things with the proper synergy and the proper message.
That's wonderful. Well, I don't know how, but I really want to be involved with you in some way, okay? So
I'd love
we'll
to,
talk
man.
about that at some point, because I'm really excited about what you guys are doing. Now, if they want to see Resilience, where do they see that? Where can they get the movie?
So right now we are working through things. We're with a company called Candlelight Media, and again, this whole pandemic, we had a theatrical plan. In fact, there's 72 theaters that are up for letting us go with it, and partnering with me. I took, as an independent, I talked to them directly, and they are literally willing to just share with us to put them in 72 theaters. But we're at a standstill right now, so that's the deal.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us for today's show. I really look forward to meeting you guys in person one day. I just think you're both wonderful. Kiwi, I just adore you. You're just wonderful. All righty?
She's awesome. Thank you, Isaac. You're really great. Love your show.
Great. Folks, don't go away. We'll be right back. Well, once again, we have come to the end of another show, and I must tell you, I really enjoyed my time with Brian and his daughter, Kiara. If you want to know more about them, just go to their website, aoemedia.tv. That's aoemedia.tv. Also, you may be new to this show and you've only seen maybe a few episodes, but did you know that you can catch a lot of my past interviews? All you have to do is go to YouTube and look for the channel Faith on Film TV. That's Faith on Film TV. There you will find lots of great interviews with Nancy Stafford, Bruce Marciano, Kevin and Sam Sorbo, just a lot of great people that are involved in the faith and family film industry. So remember, that's YouTube, Faith on Film TV. I also want to remind you to check out Parables TV, a place where you can watch some wonderful movies, documentaries, reality shows, just a lot of great content for you and your family, and it's all free. There's no subscription fee. All you have to do is register. Just go to parables.tv. That's parables.tv. Well, as I always tell you, if you want to keep a good, healthy soul, you got to feed it some good, healthy entertainment. So until next week, take care.